Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone's having a great morning so far. Good morning, Husk. How are you this morning? Pretty slow kind of morning, a little bit. Like the volatility is not high, but I've gotten 3 trades so far. 2 wins and a break even. I manually broke even on the 3rd trade, which is very crazy because I was just looking at that particular setup with the double top or double bottom start. And because I was still a little bit unsure as to how, if I wanted to the setup requirements to be more strict or keep it as loose as it is, I just went ahead and I broke even because I wasn't really sure. But it went to the full TP, so I don't know. It doesn't set up a whole lot, so yeah, I don't know. But we'll see long term what I end up doing. 94.75. If this bar closes down, this is technically a VWAP touch. We're at the current open and prior close right now. All right, I was looking for a rejection at 91.75, but you guys see the zigzag turned green, so that sell is null and void. Good morning, Amelia. How are you this morning? So yeah, my first trade actually was around 832. Then I had another trade at 840, and the 3rd trade was at 846. Still not all the way sure if I want to keep the looser rules for the trade that was at 836 or if I want to have it a little bit more strict, because one of the other type of pullbacks is more strict, but the 3rd type of pullback is not strict on the double bottom double top starts. So for now, I'll just consider it a break even, but I'm just not sure how it's going to work out long term, because with that particular pullback with a double bottom double top start, I only had 6 examples of it in the last 8 weeks besides today, so today would make number 7. And the only other time it showed up exactly like it did today, it was one where I wouldn't have gotten filled on the entry. So yeah, I didn't know. We'll see. Good morning, Trenches. How are you this morning? So yeah, we'll end up seeing how that one works out long term. So we'll see what the rest of the day brings us. We're kind of in a weird space right now, so yeah, so right now, all right. We had an attempt to change the bias here to a downtrend. We immediately rejected. We've traded below it a little bit. As you can see here, we did create at least one pullback off of the bottom of it, but we didn't push down very much. We pushed right back up off of the current open and prior close. That's these two lines right here. So then we also have the major resistance level right here, and behind that is the prior high. So there's quite a bit of resistance here to push it down, but we have been rejecting the push down since it did change price. So we'll see what happens. Good morning, Applejacks. How are you this morning? How do you feel about the price action? Is it there is no action, or what's up? How is London? It's not really too bad for me yet, so I'm just gonna hope the session stays this way. I did look at a couple of things after yesterday's session, and the divergence trade that I took before I got on the stream, technically it was an invalid trade, but I really don't have a whole lot of data on it, so it could be that the volume rules that I wrote down is just because I didn't have enough data still after 8 weeks. It just hasn't set up with that particular volume pattern very much in the 8 weeks, but it did set up again today and it won. So trying to see yeah, so I might just go ahead and add it back in as that being one of the options for the pattern that I'm looking for. That's probably what's going to end up happening, because basically in 8 weeks it's set up, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 times including today, and the first one won, second one lost, third one won, and then today won. So it would be 3 and 1. So I might have to just kind of play it by ear and see how many more times it sets up. I don't know, but it doesn't set up enough for me to know for sure yet, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know. So we'll see. Let's see. I can't take any buys right now. I'm gonna go back real quick to look at that divergence trade, and then I'll show you guys the trades that I've taken so far. Ooh, that might make a little difference. I do notice a similarity between 2 of the wins for that divergence, so that could be a thing. I'm not sure. We'll see. Good morning, online safety. How are you? Was doing good until this event started. What event? You talking about the 9 a.m. news, or you got an event that you're at right now? I roll the 1 minute. You're up 2.5K in a sim account. So what are you doing different in your sim account than you do on your actual accounts? Is your sim account like trades where I'm a little iffy about, or is a sim account like I'm bored and I'm just finna take some shit? Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Rio. How are you guys? London started off slow but did what it had to do eventually. Oh, the Apple event. I got you, Trenches. Let me see. There wasn't a huge range overnight, which is why I was actually kind of surprised that I got 3 trades in before 9 o'clock. So depending on how I end up wanting to trade that divergence off of the new high, I might have possibly had 4 trades. No, yeah, 4 trades before 9. So I'll go ahead and I'll scroll and, oh wait, we scrolled too far. Forgot the price action ain't that crazy this morning so far. So I'll show you guys the trades that I did take. Just don't pay attention to the box. That's for now. All right, so this was the first trade right here, just regular higher low, higher high, higher low divergence going back towards the session high. So that was trade number one. Now this was the divergence trade off of the new high that I took this yesterday with that same exact pattern and I won it. But prior to yesterday, there was one win and one loss. So that's probably why I didn't have that particular volume pattern as a rule of being able to trade it. So we'll see. But this trade would have won as well. So the second trade that I took was this divergence. It was a divergence pullback to my major level. The overall bias was an uptrend at the time. So this was just a deeper pullback to attempt to continue the trend up. So not only did we have the support of my major level, which was like going through about halfway through the body of that candle, but also we had the VWAP to hold it up. Did come kind of close to stopping me out, and then it just went ahead and continued up. And then this was the trade that I manually broke even out of, which, like I said, like this being a double bottom start. So if this was a higher low versus a lower low, then I would have treated this a specific way. But because it started with a lower low, that's like my alternate pullback. And so after I went through that data yesterday, I just made the requirements for this one the same as the other one because I didn't have enough data to know. So with the other one, the only other time that it set up, it just literally didn't even fill me on the entry. And then having this one be this way, I just legit had no idea how I wanted to trade it. So I just went ahead and manually broke even just in case. But it looks like I don't have to have the more strict rule for this particular one, but I don't know. So we'll just see long term. But more than likely, I probably shouldn't have to be as strict with that one because that particular alternate pullback is already way less strict than the regular pullbacks anyway. So it kind of makes sense that the double bottom, double top start for that one doesn't have to be as strict, but we'll see. So technically, yeah, those are the 4 trades that I had before 9 o'clock. We'll just have to see about that divergence one to see long term, but yeah. Pressing buttons and testing this new trading style. The new trading style is also why I blew the account on Friday. So do you like the newer trading style and maybe you just need to make a couple of adjustments? New trading styles are always fun. Always fun. But if you do notice that you're having decent results with it, that's when it's like, all right, let me see how I can quantify this because I actually might like this a lot better than what I'm already doing. I'm really just kind of waiting, you guys, for us to just pull away from the major resistance level right here. That is all I'm waiting for. But yeah, it looks like this was just a little pullback to continue the uptrend. That's what the 5-minute chart looks like. But yeah, the way that we had the immediate rejection, attempted to create some structure and immediately rejected again and started pushing up. Wouldn't be surprised if we just continue the initial uptrend. So we'll see. Yeah, I think so. And maybe paying too close attention to it and not executing on Friday was a problem. That could be it. That could be it. As long as you identify the parts you like and don't like, what's going to give you the edge, that's what matters most. Especially if the new trading style is going to fit your personality a lot more and, you know, the time you have available to trade and all of that. Once you find something where everything is going to mesh, Be good to go. Put my notebook over here. Good morning, Peter. How are you? Thank you for the sub. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, y'all. I accidentally knocked my other monitor into this monitor. Good morning, DB Nail. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. No trade since 8:46. Just kind of waiting. We've just been in a consolidation area for me, so we wait. So we're already at the new bias change zone, as you can see. Let's see if we could push through it. What number does that say? 986. If I take this buy, I need for it to stall a little longer. We'll see if we stall long enough though. Alright. So now it's stalled long enough. See if we can push through the zone. Maybe not. Definitely attempting to resist here. Just created a new prime high, so I'm not surprised at the push down a little bit. Hopefully, no. Come on, you've been doing so well all day. Don't start the stream losing. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, good morning. I think I'm gonna try one with take profit instead of top step. Let me make sure I traded it right. Yeah, I traded it right. There's nothing I could do about that one. Most times we can push through the initial zone. Sometimes we just can't. Because I have already, I did already like look over that to make sure it was what I wanted. Because I think it might have been last week I lost a trade like this, but the volume patterns look different than what this one did. And that's what made me go through to look like, all right, do I actually want to continue trading this or not? So for now, I'm going to keep it, but we'll see long term. But I do also have to keep in mind that I have a break even in there that should have been a full win. And then that divergence trade also that I could have possibly gotten into, we still really don't know. So that alone adds another 170 to what my current P&L is, 170 per account. So that would be like 250 right now. $250 in profit per account. So I always like to keep that kind of stuff in mind. I am going to hold, please. So we are rejecting. If we push actually further down, I could possibly get into a buy, but not right now. We would be closing right on the major resistance level. So I am looking through the data for that buy trade that I just took because I wanted to make sure I'm not missing anything. I guess I could possibly see a pattern with the other data that I have. The only other time it's set up that exact way, the volume pattern was different and that one, but the one of course today lost. So that could be a thing. I don't know. I don't need everything to be 100% perfection, but because I know how important volume patterns are, that's why I always try to like go back to make sure if things need to be a little bit more strict or not. Cause let me see. I actually think I know how I want to do that. I think I know, looking back now. All right, so the trend bias was a downtrend, right? And when this pulled back, it didn't pull back to my minor level at all. So it was kind of floating, aside from touching the VWAP, obviously, and then touching this resistance turned into support. It was floating. So some trades, like I trade different based on whether it pulls all the way back to my minor level or it's like basically like a floating trade. And it looks like of all the different pullbacks where this happens, it looks like very rarely does it happen like today where it doesn't pull all the way back to my minor level. So what I might end up doing is that when we're doing this, I need to have it pull all the way back to the minor level, which would make sense because it just adds like a stronger level of support for us to be able to push through the zone and actually create the uptrend, or, you know, the trend change bias. Because of course, if we were going down, but I think that's what I'll probably end up kind of switching to. That's probably what's going to end up happening, but we'll see. If it happens again like that where we don't pull all the way back to the minor level, I'll probably just sit out of it just so I can kind of see if my hunch is correct. Yeah, we'll see. Because otherwise, if that's not the problem is that I need to make the volume requirement stricter. We'll see. Good morning, Ragu. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the sub. All right. Sorry, guys. Let me put y'all back in view. Really, we're just kind of still in a weird area. If we're gonna push down, I would like to see us trade closer to like the VWAP down here. And I want to see this support level turn into resistance. Because the only reason why it's there is because we broke the bottom of the zone, but not the top. So yeah, we'll wait and see what sets up. So something I do want to tell you guys about that I've been doing for like the last 2 weeks is at the end of every week, I put a page in my journal where I'm like, adjustments made this week, because you guys know I'm still making the final adjustments and final touches to my strategy. So any lessons that I learned for that week, whether it's, you know, adjustments to volume requirements, hey, you can't take this setup at all anymore, that kind of thing, I always put it on one page, and I will make it to where like I put the date of each thing. That way, like just now, I wanted to see about that trade that I just lost, because I do remember just recently writing all the trades down that's happened so far in the 8 weeks of data. So I just literally went to the end of each week and looked for that particular thing, and I was able to go straight to the day that I had all of that data written down. So that's a little journaling tip for you guys. Whatever lessons you learned for the week, always write whatever day it was and just write everything down on one page. That way it's very easy for you to go back through your journal and find specific things, and you can see why you made that a thing. Definitely a change of structure on the 5-minute chart. This was technically a lower high right here. So let's see if we go ahead and push down below that VWAP down there and start creating some downtrend structure. Good morning, Cage. How are you? Hi, friend. How goes it? How goes it? You guys, Trade Cage is a YouTuber as well. He's one of the senior mods in the Apex Discord. Guys should check him out. Cage, when are you gonna start going live? Yeah, I just want to really see a breakout down here somewhere. You need a break from the main chat. That's why you haven't seen me around. I've been checking, like I've been catching up in the mod chat every day. I just don't say anything because it's nothing for me to address or say anything about. But yeah, I've kind of just really just been focused too. So I'll be back soon, probably today. On my own personal portfolio account, I'm doing well with NQ Futures. But man, when I trade with Take Profit Trader, I failed the test 3 times due to drawdown. So San or San, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but is it a daily drawdown or a trailing drawdown? Because if it's a trailing drawdown, then maybe you should find a company that does an end of day drawdown instead. I mean, I do understand that with different types of trading or different types of strategies, for some people the trailing drawdown is not a big deal, but for others it is. Like for me personally, as a scalper, the trailing drawdown isn't a bother, because in the process of me failing accounts is because my strategy's not right? Because if I'm always going for a 1-to-1, it's always 18 ticks. So the only way for my trailing drawdown to continue going down is not because of what's happening while I'm in a trade. You know, the most that can happen is I do have an auto break even, so it could go 16 ticks in that direction and then go back to the break even. But in the process of that, I'm not really losing a whole lot of drawdown when that happens. And I don't get a whole lot of break evens anyway. It's either a win or a loss for the most part. So yeah, in the process of me putting my strategy together, that's just how I know when my strategy is not right yet, when I'm hitting the drawdown, because I'm not intraday swing trading. So there's no huge changes in the drawdown for me. So it's not like Top Step where you still have a second chance the next day. So you could blow your account on either. If you hit daily, it's fine. Oh, shoot. Only prop firm that does that. That's a little crazy. I had no idea that there was any company out there that does that, because I always thought that any company that had the end of day, if you hit it, you just can't trade anymore for that day. But as long as you didn't hit the overall whatever loss limit, then you were good. That's a little crazy. So they got a trailing and a daily drawdown. That's awkward. It's their biggest drawback. Instant fail when it hits 1200 drawdown. I agree with you. I'll be up 2K or 3K, but then the drawdown boots me out. Yeah. So you definitely, if I were you, I would look at a company that has a true end of day versus a trailing plus end of day. Because I know a lot of people try to say that Apex is more so made for scalpers, which I understand, because I mean, when you think about a trailing drawdown, maybe. Good morning, Chan. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Thank you for the sub. The only thing that I can say is that if you know that you go for way bigger targets, then probably using micros and scaling out is probably going to be your best bet. The few people that I know who do more intraday swing trading, that's primarily what they do. Especially if they're going for like a 1-to-5 or something like that. Like, so let's say they're going for, let's just say they're going for a 1-to-3 or something, and they're using 5 micros. Then they will take half out at a 1-to-1, sometimes like 75%. And then they'll take out the next portion at a 1-to-2, and then, you know, maybe leave only one contract for the 1-to-3. But yeah, I don't know how I would have traded my old intraday swing strategy with Apex. I don't know how I would have made it work, but at the same time, I didn't really used to be in trades for that long, but I don't know. Honestly, starting with Apex is kind of the reason why I started focusing on scalping again. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't start scalping because of the trail and drawdown. I always wanted to be a scalper because I've had experience with multi-week swing trading, multi-day swing trading, intraday swing trading. So, but I've always known that I didn't really like any of them. Even though I was successful intraday swing trading on a 2-minute Heikin-Ashi chart, and I used to trade the bonds market, the Nasdaq, ES, whatever. I traded a lot of stuff. I also have experience with intraday swing trading on Forex. And then I did some binary options as well. But I just always felt like the least amount of time I'm in a trade, the less likely the market is going to be able to turn against me. Because I always feel like whether you trade with fair value gaps, support and resistance, supply demand, like there's always a chance that there's a level there that you're not seeing. Maybe it's an order flow VWAP level and you don't even have access to order flow VWAP. There's just always something. So it's like, yeah, the trade can look great, but there's this wall right here that you just don't even see. And it's so crazy because when I first started trading again, like last year sometime, well, I kind of started about 2 years ago, but I was doing other stuff, right? I was primarily focused on my business. So I didn't really care how trading was going at the time. But I would tell my friend all the time, like, sometimes I just feel like when I'm trading, my trade looks great and it just hits this wall that I can't see. And I would always like try to figure out, like, is there some kind of indicator that can show me where this wall is? I don't know what's there. And eventually, once I switched back to Rinkos and I, added a couple of indicators in, I then was able to see the wall that I couldn't see before. But I just always felt that way with that. Now, I can tell you guys, though, if you trade on anything other than Rinkos, there is this great indicator out there. I don't know where you can find it now. I mean, if you're interested, I can just email it to you. But there's one called Squant Levels. It's from Posty Pivots. And it does a really, really good job of showing you, actually, let me see if I have it in my indicator list, but it'll show you kind of like the bear last stand or the bull's last stand, to where if it crosses that level, it's probably just going to keep going. It shows you like a take profit 1, 2, and 3. I think it shows you where the major support and resistance levels are. I used to actually use that when I was intraday swing trading and I loved it. It doesn't work for Rinkos though, but I do have it. Let me put it on like a 5-minute chart and I'll show you guys. Let me see. Apex is the best prop firm trade cage will tell you. But I don't mind live trailing. The only ones that have end of day are trustworthy is Top Step and MFFU. I don't even know if I would trust MFFU, honestly. I don't know if they trustworthy. I don't mind the live trailing either. Once you get over it in the PA, then it's great. Keep going. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. It sucks when you're in the eval process, and it even sucks when you're in the beginning of the PA. But to me, once you make it a static, it's actually way better than an end of day drawdown. It's just you have to get to that point, right? Because if you have, let's say $10,000, you're $10,000 over the now static drawdown, you have way more wiggle room than if you are forced to still have to deal with an end of day drawdown. Right now, of course, the end of day drawdown could help you to a certain extent with, not going on tilt and stuff like that. But if you got $10,000 of wiggle room, why am I forced to stop myself at $1,000 of drawdown for the day when my next trade could yield me 3K and now I'm back at it, So that's the only thing that kind of sucks with the trailing. But once it turns into a static, it doesn't matter anymore. I usually do about a 1 to 3 in my personal account. I scalp and I do reversals trading. So does your scalping not work well with the intraday or the trailing drawdown with Apex? Because why not just scalp and not do the reversals trading then? Personal is 77% profit, but prop firm you struggle in the past. 77% in the past 3 months in the green. That's great. That is really good. Oh yeah, let me here, I'll show you guys what it looks like. But yeah, I used to use this and I would use it on a Heikin-Nashi. Well, I would use it on a regular chart as well as a Heikin-Nashi just so I could see like when the Heikin-Nashi candle would close above the level or whatever. Let me fix. Let's take that off. Because price is at a level right now where I can't trade till we kind of get away from it. So, all right, so this is kind of what it looks like. This is on a 5-minute chart. And it always draws news on, and it's based off of, I can tell you, I know it's based off of Fibonacci pivots. I forget because I used it so long ago. I forget, but I believe that this is a Fibonacci pivot and then this level is just halfway between the two. I feel like is how it's used or something, or how it calculates. But yeah, it does not repaint. So as soon as the market opens, it already repaints the zones or whatever. So of course, because you're between the support and resistance levels, you can't really use those levels, right? But you have the levels in between where you can see like prices reacting off of almost every single time. Let me see if I can find like a day where, all right, so like here, right? So I think this might be yesterday. So it passed the major resistance zone or whatever, supply zone, and then you can see like this is what they call, so the first green level is what they call the last stand, meaning if it can get past that level, it's probably going to at least go to take profit 1. And you can see it hit take profit 1 here, and actually it might be that this is the last stand. Let me see, because I truly don't even remember. Maybe the top of the zones is the last stand. No, I was right. It's the first level. All right. But anyway, so yeah, you can see that it passed the last stand. It got to the last stand, resisted, and then once it got past it and retested it, it went straight to take profit 1 and even take profit 2. But yeah, I literally used to use that every day. Every day. But it doesn't work on Rincos. It actually makes my charts very, very slow on Rincos, which is very annoying. So I just never used it again. I got you. You scalp on NQ and you do reversals on the S&P. So have you ever had an Apex account? Have you tried with Apex yet? Because if I were you, I would scalp on an Apex account and just go from there, because if you're at 77% win ratio over the last 3 months, I'm not sure what portion of that is scalping and what portion is the reversals, but you should be okay. Almost any scalping strategy is going to work with Apex, at least. Most people that I'm connected to in the Apex community, most people are scalpers. Now, some of them scalp like degens, but you never tried Apex? I think you should try them out. Like we said earlier, you do have the trailing drawdown, which can suck sometimes. But if you have a great strategy and you're scalping, you're not going to hit that drawdown. You're just not. And like we said, once you get to a PA, right, your trailing drawdown is going to stop. Once your trailing drawdown balance basically is your initial drawdown plus $100, then it's static. and you don't have to worry about end of day drawdown anymore. All right, I am going to take this buy right here. You just passed another, you're back to 5 PAs, but 2 are still in such low drawdown, so you basically have 3 now. You don't think you can bring it back with some micros? You do have a zigzag change, but we'll see what happens. See if we can push up. We definitely got to push past that VWAP level right there. That's the first upper deviation level. Okay, where did this volume come from? You're going the wrong way. I promise y'all, it is nothing more annoying than winning every trade before you get on stream and then coming on stream and losing as if I trade any different. I promise y'all, I promise I don't trade any different before I get on this stream. I promise you I don't. It's so annoying. But I promise, like, a lot of times I just be thinking to myself, if I could just trade the first 30 minutes of the session and be done, I would be done. But a lot of times I don't even get setups that early anyway. So what can you do? But I promise I don't trade any different, you guys. It's not my fault that the market sucks after 9 o'clock at times. This is the worst part about tight stop losses that I hate. Because right now, my stop loss would be moving to break even. And I'm pretty sure, open, 675. 650. So it pushed 1 tick beyond my stop loss and then just took off. Thanks, I guess. I can't even really look for the sale yet. It would have to sit there for a while. To be honest with you guys, I really don't expect much out of this entire week because of the lack of news. So I'm just trying to keep my head above water this week, and that's all I can really do. That is freaking it. 67. Let's see if we get a rejection off the VWAP. If I didn't get wicked out right here, it would have been a break-even trade anyway. I could see with the wick right here that I would have gotten put in a break-even. That is so annoying. All right. Super annoying. $384. Okay, so I guess now we wanna finally push. All right. Oh, you don't think you can bring it back? Well, you might as well just go on and get them out of there, so you don't even have to look at them anymore. No problem, son. No problem. Good morning, Jay Powell. How are you this morning? Still make mad money even if the market is not all that. Yeah. Yeah. Only thing I'm kicking myself at right now is that third trade that I manually broke even because I didn't know if I wanted the stricter volume rules or not for that trade. So because I was kind of in limbo, I got out of it. So I mean, I'm still break even right now, which is fine, but I would definitely be in profit at the moment. No divergence right now. If it would have pushed down like before we actually got past that zone, then yeah, but and then I don't take the first pullback off of the top of the zone because we could just immediately reject and try to push back down again. So let's see. Got about an hour left of the session. Was I green yesterday? I'm pretty sure I was. But so far, really, it's nothing I can see that I need to like review or anything today out of the trades that I've had so far. So the one little thing that I did want to review off that one buy off the zone, I already quickly reviewed that. So, but I do want to it's just the volatility is so null and void. These are the trades that burn the most. Right there. That right there. I mean, we literally went up 85 ticks from my entry. I only wanted 18. I only wanted 18. But I don't get wicked out to the tick enough for me to feel comfortable just completely changing my stop loss. So for now, we do. It's like we don't have enough oomph to do anything. To do anything. We have like 1800 volume in this candle. So that lets me know that there's a huge attempt. There was an attempt to try to fail the change, the bias change. It looks like we might actually try to continue to make new highs for today. We'll see. No divergence. With this first push off of this zone is such a strong zone. I don't take the first divergence going back towards it anymore. All right. And now we're like 100 and something ticks above where my entry was. You're not wrong. You're just early. I'm pretty sure. Yep, it looked exactly how I wanted it to, so tough. What number is that? 1.3. Okay. I need to charge my Xbox headphones. All right, let's see if the grind higher is real. If you guys were curious, if you're new here, the white line with the triangles basically is just the session high. Nice call. The price is pushed to new highs. Yep. It just burns when you're right, but you're wrong at the same time. Look how far we've pushed up from my entry down here. But yeah, the way we were just... We had this initial rejection, we didn't change, and then because of this rejection, that's what created the support level, and we quadruple tapped it, well, triple tapped it. No, really quadruple, 1, 2, 3, 4, and pushed right on up. So really, I'm just waiting for the first pullback or the next pullback to see if I'm gonna get into a trade or not. That pillow's making my back hurt. I'm saying it's 10 o'clock already. All right, so we do have a resistance level right there at 255.75. Now, if it gets past this and this VWAP level, there's literally nothing above it until like 310. So it's got some room to work. I'm expecting a 300-point move up. Listen, as long as I can get 18 ticks out of that a couple of times in the next hour, I'll be happy. I'll be happy. Yeah, it looks like the VWAP levels are only like 20 points away, which I tell you guys, the closer the VWAP levels are, the more I know the price action is going to be practically nothing for the day. And we've proven that so far. But I just want a couple of quality wins in the next hour. Please, market, I beg of you. That would be nice. Where is the... Oh, I can't take that buy. Anytime I'm taking like just a regular pullback in the same direction of, well, it doesn't even matter what the bias is, but anytime I'm just taking regular pullbacks, I don't take it if it hits a level first. So like we're reacting off of a resistance level, I don't want to take a trade going back towards that. The only time I am okay with doing that is just if I'm going back towards the session high or low. That's the only time I'm cool with doing it, but resistance levels and all that, not so much. At least for now. Maybe once I get everything else the way I want it to be, I'll start looking at that, because it could just be something where, like, you know, if the push down from a resistance level, a VWAP level, whatever, if the volume of that swing is less than the volume of the previous swing, well, then we still have enough buyers to continue the push up, and then vice versa for sales. But for now, I just don't even trade it. Which there's already 2,000 more volume in this swing than there was the previous swing, so it wouldn't be anything that I could take anyway. But I have kind of noticed that a little bit. I would just have to pay more attention to the volume patterns, but I definitely have noticed that if the push off of any level, if the swing is less than the previous swing in the same direction, that it's likely tradable. It's just a matter of what do I want the volume pattern to look like. So for now, I'm just kind of sitting out. What it's looking like could possibly happen, depending on how far down this swing goes, is we could possibly have a pullback up and then just continue a trend down. Because I mean, you do have quite a bit of resistance off of a session high. So we'll kind of see. I'm really hoping that we can reject here, close this candle up, and then maybe go up a few ticks and close right back down for the rejection off of the VWAP. Also, my minor levels right here. So we're kind of like pushing below that. So that's kind of what I'm hoping happens. I don't want a 1 bar pullback though. That's what I don't want. I can't take the 1 bar pullback. All right. So if we do have some kind of rejection around here, I will get into the sell. I'll redraw my minor level because it's not really in the way. And as long as the zigzag doesn't change colors. But we got to close below the yellow line I just drew, and we have to close below the VWAP as well. If we don't close below the VWAP, then I'll have to take the order off. Of course you do. All right, we do have a zigzag change. I just needed to get past the double bottom. Just a little bit more of a push. Don't do that. Come on, continue the rejection. I think it's gonna stop me out. All right. Not really quite sure where this volume came from, but okay. And I have to break even. It's probably going to reject off of that new rotation level and stop me out. I am going to have to relook at this trade right here, because so I'm going to tell you what happened. It didn't meet it didn't meet my volume requirements, right? But I do have a rule that if for this, only for this setup, if it doesn't meet my volume requirements, but it reacts off of a level, like we rotated over a VWAP, or if one of the buy or sell rotation levels where there are things like that, if that happens, then I can still take the trade. I might relook at that, because I don't know if I want to continue doing that, or if I want it to be a specific level, like not a VWAP. It has to be the overnight high or low, or the buy or sell rotation level. Sorry, y'all. I just got a text message and it's kind of stressing me out. Yeah, so I might have to relook at that. This is something that I literally just relooked at a couple of days ago. So I'm going to have to see. I missed the prop firm talk. I hate them all. Applejacks. That text message just stressed me out a little bit. But I'm going to keep trading through the stress. Let me go look at long 18 to 45. My long entry was 249.50, but I just got the break even out of it. I really don't like the price action today, and I'm very irritated that I was so positive until after 9 o'clock. That's fucking irritating. You know what? Rotation, 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 overnight high, and rotation, rotation, overnight high. All right, so cool. I think what I'm gonna do is keep the same rule of if it doesn't have the volume requirements for this. So basically what this is I have an uptrend bias, right? But we're attempting to change trends. So it is an early entry, but it's actually one of my trades that has the highest win rate. But what I noticed, because again, I remember I just looked at this recently. I looked at this on Thursday, and essentially what I noticed in all of the other examples where the volume doesn't look how I want it to, but we have a level that it's reacting off of, all the other times, either the level was one of, where was the last one? It's one of these rotation levels, or it's the overnight high or low. The one other time where it was a VWAP, there also was the sell rotation level there. So the VWAP was kind of like null and void, basically. So I'm going to chalk that one up to, I need to make that particular thing just a little bit more strict. So I'll just write on my cheat sheet, level has to be buy or sell rotation, or the overnight high or low. Applejacks, why do you hate all the prop firms? With many? What's your target trenches? I don't see any resistance until 278. For me, I see the VWAP at 271, and then I don't see anything else again until 310. So around the same level that you got. And I mean, with the VWAP, of course, it's going to turn upwards. So maybe by the time it hits it, it might actually be at 278. I guess we'll have to see. I don't know why people want to bother me. All right. I don't know why people want to bother me today. Don't. All right. All right, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick because I can tell my next trade I can't take or the next pullback I can't. So I'll be right back. My irritation level is on 3,000. So many reasons: withdrawal limits, trail and drawdown, daily drawdown, you name it. Passing and then needing to get past the buffer. Trenches, you're out at 60. Charts are more important. I know Applejacks. This has to do with my emotional stuff that I had going on Friday. Okay, to focus for the next 40 minutes. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, today's session has been very irritating. Like, I just have to keep in mind that I had very low expectations for this week anyway, with the lack of news events for the week. And the few news events that we do have is all low impact. So what do you expect? But definitely learning lesson here. Definitely the whole me breaking even on the one trade, sitting out of the one divergence trade. Just those two alone, I would be break even all together, even despite, this. So, but like I said, it's just very annoying when you come onto the stream not losing a trade and then you lose every trade since the stream. That's annoying. Let me text one of my best friends real quick. If I could just hold it together for the next 40 minutes, I'll be okay. "40 minutes, you could push through." Thank you, Applejacks. Yeah. If I was on Top Step, I would have let it run. Oh yeah, since you don't have to deal with the trail and drawdown. I'm so annoyed. All right, close here. All right, so we do this bar right here close at the exact same price as this resistance level. So this divergence is not even valid anyway, but if it does somehow validate itself at some point, I'm not going to take it because we already looked at that with taking buys going back towards resistance and vice versa for sales going back towards support. The only thing I will do is like if it bounces off and bounces up, I will take sales going back to resistance and buys going back towards support. That's no issue. But definitely don't want to take that. So really just kind of waiting for this pullback to see if it's something that I'll end up taking the sell for and just kind of going from there. I don't know why people bother me. Is it okay to trade the Nasdaq in the London session? Applejacks answered you. London is her baby. All right. All right, so I am looking for the sell right here. We'll see what happens. Right now, I'm trying to keep my zen, and in the next 30 minutes, I don't want to make any mistakes. I don't want to miss any trades, and I don't want to get into any trades I'm not supposed to be in, which is always my goal. But now that I'm thrown off mentally and emotionally, now I just have to really pay attention. You not even hungry today. What's gotten into you? You ate too late last night? I'm gonna be a plant for lunch, soaking some sun. The sun is what would make me hungry and sleepy. The longer I'm out in the sun, the more I'm just hungry and sleepy. Every time. All right, so if we stall here for too long, then the trade's going to be invalidated. There's only about 500 more volume that can be in this candle before it invalidates itself. The trade at least. So you can see that we're kind of rejecting off of my trend change level. 1434. I see y'all's messages. Hold on. Trying to see if we're gonna push down or not. Got 100 left. All right, and now we've changed, so nothing there. All right, have you considered streaming at London Open? I'm 1000% never streaming. Y'all got it. Applejacks, why not? Why are you never streaming? I get it. Don't get me wrong. For me, I mean, I had a bunch of different reasons why I wanted to stream, but I can tell you that losing in front of people is definitely not fun. That's probably the only thing that I'm just like, ugh. But like I tell you all the time, I just have to remind myself that like you're still putting this together. Now, if you start losing consistently and you feel like your strategy's 100%, then you can start getting irritated. But aside from that, I just can't even be mad. Since I'm not hungry, I have an excuse to get a smoothie bowl when you get off. Smoothie bowls are good. I actually was just telling myself the other day that I want to start eating more fruit again. Like I used to. So now when I make breakfast, I typically make like some vegan eggs, some uncured bacon, turkey bacon, so I don't eat pork. And then I'll also make a smoothie and eat like some Greek yogurt with granola. I really have small meals for breakfast and lunch. And then for lunch, what I would typically do is a salad. And then I'll have whatever big dinner. But I do want to start eating more fruit bowls again, because I used to eat like a fruit bowl that would have strawberries and blueberries and typically like pineapple or something. But fruit has gotten so expensive that it's like, do we really, you know? So I kind of stopped, but I want to start back again. Really, the biggest thing is I don't really like fruit, like just eating raw fruit like that. I prefer just smoothie. You could throw as many things as you want to. Just blend it up. Just blend it up. I don't know why. It's just like the taste of certain things. I think I told y'all before, but I drink water. Y'all see me drink water all the time, right? That's just how I am. It's always been that way. So because I don't really consume a whole lot of sugar anyway, most fruits are too sweet to me. So I think it's that. I think the texture, because I'm a texture person too, like the texture of some fruits, even if it tastes good, the texture of it throws me off. Like bananas, the texture makes me want to vomit, but I'll throw a banana in a smoothie real quick. I'm kind of weird like that. But like berries, I don't like the taste of blueberries if I eat them, but I'll throw them in a smoothie real quick. And I love the taste of, like, I could tell the difference of a smoothie that has blueberry in it and one that doesn't. Strawberries, the same thing. Like I remember growing up, my mom and sister used to love eating strawberries with a little, like, dip it in a little bit of sugar. Strawberries, I think it's the texture of the outside of the strawberries. I sound like a child, don't I? But I love fruits and vegetables. You just gotta blend the fruits up. I can't. I beat myself up anyway for making mistakes. I don't need extra critics, and unsolicited advice gets under my skin. People are good at... Listen, you've been here when I've experienced it. Like, What the hell? Do you not see up there for entertainment purposes? This video is for entertainment purposes. Either be entertained by my wins, be entertained by my losses, or get out. I don't need nothing extra at all. But yeah, I feel you there. I definitely do. I do. Especially like if it's hard for you to tune out noise and you start getting irritated and now you start making mistakes, which makes it worse. Yeah, I get you though. It's so much easier to just be one of those trading content creators who just, you know, makes review videos and that's it. Or just makes strategy videos and you don't even know if these people can really trade because most of the time they just keep posting the same strategy year by year. Okay. Why do you have 7 different videos on support and resistance? It's not that difficult. It's because every year you're trying to attract more new traders and that's it. So yeah, definitely streaming is a lot harder because of people. Not interested in the buy. If it pushes up here, I can't really be interested in the sell either because it's not going to close below that yellow line. The bar won't close below there. So we might just have to be negative today, which sucks. Started off up 170 something and being down 147 is definitely not fun. What am I looking for? Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Come on, market. Do something, please. Really just waiting for the next pullback. I'm not trading going back towards all that up there, so Good morning, Clarity. How are you this morning? You would need to work on some things. 688. Really starting to wonder. Didn't I just... I did just look at this. I knew I wasn't tripping. Oh, that just invalidated itself anyway. I was initially looking for this sale, but it's invalidated now. But I wanted to look. 411. Always does that. All right, whatever. All right. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Back in at 240. Out at 47. You done? What the heck? Mommy, you know your WhatsApp message from last night just came through the phone? Your WhatsApp message about the delayed flight just came through the phone. Yeah. I'm about to show you something in like 20 minutes. Daily goal on new eval. What's your daily goal, Trenches? Someone in Nutty's chat earlier said Port Alpine lost a few accounts today. Oh, I haven't even checked anybody's stream because I'm just over here irritated my damn self. Oh. Well, it shows grayed out, but I don't know. He doesn't really show if it's admin only or not, because the other day when I thought that he lost a bunch of accounts, it was great. It was because it was grayed out, but he didn't actually lose the accounts. When he made the video, follow-up video, I think he had only lost 2 and lost 4 more later on, like when earnings came out or something. So I can't really tell, but he must be talking about the fact that he lost them, because it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like 10 of them are grayed out with like negative 2,700 right now. The morning session makes your head hurt. It does when it looks like this. But I'm pretty sure after I journal and I go through a couple of things, I just know there's like little slight adjustments that need to be made. Literally nothing. I haven't made any major changes to my setups or my strategy in a very long time. Everything has just been minor stuff of, this has only happened 5 times in the last month and a half. We got to make something shake with these 5 data points. Let's see what we can find, kind of thing. So $300 to $400. Oh, you call your mom mommy? Yeah, I do. I do. And my mommy was gone. My mommy and my granny were gone since Thursday, so I missed it, damn. Oh, whatever. Haven't gone on his stream yet since I have 3 open already. Yeah, I really just keep them open so they can, get the watch time and stuff like that. But I don't really watch until I'm journaling. When I'm journaling, I'm kind of a little crazy, but I'll usually have like probably 3 of their voices going at the same time, and I'll just kind of flip back and forth based off of what I hear them say, because none of them like literally talk the entire time for the most part. Alpine and Methodical probably talk a little bit more. But yeah. All right, we got 15 minutes left. As irritating as today has been so far, I'm not totally mad at the P&L. Not totally. I give today like a 5 out of 10, even though I could give it a 1 out of 10. But yeah. I call my mom mother. Yes, very formal. Well, at least you call her something, because even though I've said my dad on stream a couple of times, he does not get addressed as such. He gets addressed as nothing because I don't address him at all. And most of the time when I'm talking about him to other people who actually know his name, I'll just call him by his first name, because that's what your mama named you. And that's just that. Yeah, that's my mommy. That's my girl. As much as you know how black moms are. I ain't your little friend, baby. She is my little friend. Don't let that fool you. Now she my little friend. Mommy. Oh, I thought I heard something. I got too much going on. I got you, CNBC, and Trader TV Live. You do got a lot going on. You do. 5-minute range trade scalper mode. Oh, I haven't even looked at the 5-minute again. You know what? The 5-minute wasn't as ugly as I thought it would be today. It's not that bad. Not too shabby. Do I have any funded accounts currently with Apex? I have one. I have a funded account that I passed on accident, which is why I don't trade it. Yeah, I passed it on accident. I can't even see what that number is. Passed it on accident, actually attempting to fail it, because up until really recently, the last week or so, any evals that I had where it was not passed yet because I'm still in the process of developing my strategy or whatever, I would just put max contracts on it and just purposely fail it so that I can get the free reset, free in quotations, because I still call it a free reset because I feel like if you're not paying the actual reset fee, well, then it's a free reset. But anyway, so I was just trying to get the free reset on renewal. And in the process of me doing that for that particular account, I ended up passing it instead. So that happened probably like 2 months ago at this point. And that's why I still have not traded it, because I don't want a revolving door of PAs. My personality can't handle well, you got 2K out of it and you only spent 140 or 200 on it. So you're net positive. It's okay if you fail. My brain doesn't work that way. So I don't want to fail it because I know my strategy's not ready yet. Now, if my strategy was ready at the time, then cool. But basically my rule at this point is when I pass the next eval, then I'll start trading the PAs, because in this entire process of putting this strategy together for the last 4 months, I'm getting closer and closer to finalizing it. So now I'm okay with, once I get the next eval, just going ahead and starting to trade the PAs. Good morning, Premium TV Motivation Official. Good morning. Thank you for the sub. Welcome in. But yeah, so I'm just doing it the right way. It wasn't a purposeful YOLO. So yeah. And I trade my evals like I would trade the PAs. I don't think my brain can compute trading it any other way. So, because even like the way that people do evals sometimes, like, oh, I need to, load up on evals. So I'm just going to hedge 10 accounts. 5 of them go this way, 5 of them go this way on news. Who cares if the other 5 fail? My brain doesn't work like that. Like for me, the higher my eval number or the higher my PA number, the more I'm a failure. That's just the way that I think personally. This is not to say anybody who has high evals or PAs are failures. This is just my thought process and how I feel about it for myself. So like right now, I'm using eval number 17, 18, 21, and 22. 20 was the one that I passed accidentally. 19, I just canceled that one because at some point months ago, I basically just made it to where all of my evals had a renewal date that were 1 week apart, except my second 50K account. I only added that one in because in the process of me putting the strategy together, of course, especially in the beginning, I was filling the account so fast. I just needed to have 2 accounts that had the bigger drawdowns, but I prefer the 25K accounts. But honestly, I probably will continue with 50K accounts just because when you think about the amount that you can take out extra per pay period, the extra $500 per pay period per account, that's a lot of money to give up just to have the lower payout threshold. So, but yeah. And the only reason I'm up this high on my account numbers is just because when I first got my very first account with Apex, even though I wasn't really actively trading for real, but the best discount you could get was 50%. And then once the 60% renewal came, whatever accounts I had, I canceled those. Same thing when 70% was the best. And then once the 80% renewal came, I canceled all the accounts that I had at the time. And so that's how I'm on 17 to 22. But I have not paid for a reset. Ever since I found out about the free reset on renewal, I have not ever paid for a reset since. Because technically the way that I have the evals with the renewals, I always had a fresh new account coming every Monday anyway. So what was the point of resetting? It didn't make sense. Have I gotten a payout from Apex? Nope. Love your plan. I have 3 PAs. My aim is to have 5 in the short term, but long term 20 for sure. Absolutely. I'm definitely going to stair step it. But yeah, John, I haven't gotten any payouts yet. I've been developing a strategy, so there's no way for me to do that. But I can assure you, once my strategy is all together, I'll tell you guys all about any payout that I get. I'm very transparent. The only thing that I will say is I've already talked about this on stream before, where at some point I am going to stop sharing my P&L just because I'm a woman and not just that, just in the culture that I'm in, it's not really smart to continue putting how much money you make out there. And I don't live in a safe city either. So yeah, but there's going to be certain ways for you guys to be able to still tell how much I'm making, like, but I'll just have to do it in a subtle way where traders understand, but non-traders don't. But yeah, clarity, I'm going to end up, what my plan is to get all of the evals that I have remaining, the 4, to PAs. And once I get the first payout, then I will start trading, start adding more evals and PAs to the mix. But definitely I'm not going to push it. I'm probably just going to do everything kind of like in batches of 5, since that's kind of what I'm doing now. And I'll just go from there, because honestly, by the time I get to that point, I'm not really worried about, making sure that the renewals are a week apart. And I wouldn't worry about that, because at that point I have the edge, to just buy a batch of 5, trade them, get those to PAs, get to that payout, and buy the next batch of 5. But I definitely long-term want to do 20. As much as like in the beginning, I was like, that's just greed. I'm cool with 5 accounts, or I'm cool with 10 accounts, until you see everyday people with 20 accounts withdrawing money. And you're like, on second thought, is it really greed if it's available? Is it really? So I feel like as long as you are not gambling and you're following a clear, concise strategy, and you're not going on tilt a whole lot, you got the psychological aspect of trading together, why not use it as leverage? Why not? Because you could just do so much more with the leverage of 20 accounts than you can with the 5 or the 10 or whatever. And that's why I personally would max out 20 accounts with Apex before I personally am going to get any account with any other prop. Insert additional reasons. I hate these companies and will never stream. I ain't transparent. I'm black as hell. Apple jokes. But I feel you. Because it's really sad that we have to think about that and other cultures don't. Like, I wouldn't even feel safe putting out there that I made $160,000 in the last 2 months, or $200,000 this year so far. I wouldn't even feel comfortable or safe doing so. And that's sad. But it's the truth. I don't feel comfortable at all. But like I said, there's going to be certain videos where like, a week in my trade journal or something like that. And I'll probably have it filtered to just showing one account. So it's just going to show that, hey, this week I made $1,000. But you guys who tune in every day, you guys know that, hey, she trading 5 accounts. And we see her every day. So what I would probably do is like filter the P&L to just show one account. I'm not going to show the total P&L, just show one account. But you guys are going to know how many accounts I trade. You get what I'm saying? So y'all can do the multiplication, but a non-trader is just going to think, oh, she just made $1,000 this week. She ain't doing shit. What you don't know is I got 20 accounts and I really made 20,000, but you don't know that because you ain't a trader and you don't pay attention. What's my trading style like with my personality type? So, it's pretty much why I scalp, because, so first of all, I'm a scalper that has a very set rule base for the strategy that I'm creating. So I trade like 3 different pullbacks. I trade 2 different types of divergences. How I trade them is based on the bias, whether it's a for real counter trend divergence versus my bias is an uptrend. It's just a deeper pullback into the uptrend. I trade them differently. So I've been actually like putting this strategy together for really over a year at this point. However, it wasn't until right before New Year's, between Christmas and New Year's, that I switched to a volume-based strategy. Now, there's a lot of information out there about volume, like volume profile and different things like that, but you're not going to find any information regarding volume and Renko bars. You're just not going to find it. It's not there. Ringo bars is my preference for scalping because you can get very precise entries. I was first introduced to Rinkos 10 years ago, and it's always been my preference. So for me, I know that there are people who just like scalp like, oh, there's some congestion over here to the left, I'm gonna go ahead and get into a buy. That doesn't work for me. I'm super analytical. I'm super anal. Like, I'm just very meticulous as well. So I have to have a strategy that has very clear, concise rules. Because I'm so over analytical, if I have a strategy where like I still need to do something based off a hunch, kind of, or based on how I interpret what this congestion looks like, you might not see the congestion that I see because I'm so analytical. So I've learned different strategies from people. Like, I have a girlfriend that's extremely successful with trading. She has well over 10 years of trading full-time, type of experience. I've taken her course. I've had her mentorship. Her students do really well. I don't do well with her strategy because part of her strategy is drawing critical levels or critical points. And for me, I would just have a whole shit ton of lines. Like, every 5 points on the Nasdaq would be a line, because if I see any amount of resistance over there, I'm going to draw a critical point, right? You do have a lot of strategies out here where if you got 50 people all looking at the same chart, those 50 people are going to interpret things differently from each other. So that's kind of like my issue, and why I had to create the strategy the way that I'm creating it. I have to have something that's very clear, concise, where I cannot overanalyze or overthink my way out of the trade, because otherwise I will figure something out. Like, there's something that just invalidated this. But the reason why it's taken me so long, since I would say January, but between January and March 11th, I was playing around with different Rinko settings. So I really don't count the first 2 months of trading volume based, because it wasn't until the week of March 11th that I switched to this Rinko setting, which is what is most important. So I'm basically like 2 months in. Now, because I've done so much back testing, and my back testing is so meticulous and so detailed, I didn't feel like back testing. When I got on this Rinko setting, I could just tell by what I saw on the charts that this is what I was going to like. So I've basically been kind of using the data from each trade that I take every day to kind of formulate the volume patterns that I prefer to see with each setup. And so that's why still two months later, I'm like, oh, I think I might need to adjust that just a little bit more, because although there's 2 months worth of data, because my setups are so specific, like this particular setup might have only set up like 5 times in the last 2 months with this exact pattern, with exactly what the chart looks like, what levels it's reacting off of, what levels the previous reversal reacted off of. Like, it's very specific. So for me, this works for my personality type very well, because I know if I'm going to enter or not, and I pretty much know very quickly. And that's just that. But somebody who's not very meticulous would probably not like my trading style, though. 20 accounts is it? Look at trades by Matt. He's killing it. Absolutely. Deep ass questions. You'd have been an outstanding CPA. I thought about it. There was so many things I wanted to do in life. I actually originally wanted to be a doctor. And I actually had multiple doctors and lawyers that were going to come together and pay my entire way through medical school, because I was such a great student. I was a student athlete. Like, I graduated number 13 out of 673 kids in my class. I had over 4.0, and I barely tried because I've always picked up on things so quickly. And I was a self-teacher. So I would teach myself in a way where no matter what the teacher was saying up there, I've already learned it this way, and I made sense in my head. So I don't need to even listen to you kind of thing. So I wanted to be a doctor, but then I was like, I don't know about being in school until I'm 28, and I want to be married with kids and all that. And here I am, 33, and I'm still not married and still don't have kids. Now, I've been engaged multiple times, but still, I could have went to medical school. But also, I realized early on that, like, in the path of being in the healthcare field, that it's the doctors might have the knowledge as far as like to diagnose and things, but the doctors are not really the people that know the most about the patients, especially like when you're in hospitals and stuff like that. It's the nurses and the techs, because they're the ones who spend the most time with the patient. And so I was like really turned off from being a doctor. I thought about being a lawyer, but then I was like, I don't know about that. So I ended up going with being a nurse instead. And I've had several businesses and stuff like that too. But I definitely thought about being a CPA. I'm going to tell you what turned me off of being a CPA. My mom has been a financial analyst literally my entire life. And she would be considered like a senior accountant now. And I was like, I don't really know if I can sit in an office looking at numbers all day. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Clarity, you have a great day as well. I'm about to be out myself. Thanks for the insight. Best of luck. Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So again, not very happy with the session today, but it's all good. I'm going to show you guys what the accounts look like. I'm basically down like, what was I yesterday? I feel like I think I'm like down maybe $70 for the week. Nothing major at all, but this is where we're at. Let me move the data lag out of the way. So I took 7 trades. For those of y'all who are new, it shows 14 because it counts the entry and the exit. But yeah, I took 7 trades. I won 2, lost 3, broke even on 2. 3, 2, 2. Yes. Like I said, I am going to look over the 1 loss. I did sit out of 1 win. I manually broke even on a trade that I'm pretty sure from now on I'm just gonna go ahead and go with the pattern that I saw, but we'll see. But that's where we're at. Again, who knows what the rest of the week is gonna bring. I don't have high expectations whatsoever, but we'll see. We might just have to kind of sit on our hands a little bit until next week when some of the real news comes back. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye, guys.